Now, ladies and gentlemen, with CSGO's most recent large size update, that being the RIO Major, that included the stickers, the storage units, and a little more. The Major currently is being played, the Legend stage just concluded, we're going into the championship, we don't really know who's going to win with there being so many upsets, it's going to be pretty crazy, but that's kind of besides the point. With these stickers being out for a little over 2 weeks at this point, we've gotten a good feeling on how the community feels, but also how I feel personally myself, and the overall reception, including me, is not very good. Now, most of this video is going to be my personal opinion and kind of defying all odds, if some may say. With me not liking these stickers, I've pretty much forced myself the past few hours and the past couple of weeks to make some pretty unique sticker crafts that I think I like and other people would for RIO. I get and understand, since I don't like these stickers and some other people might, there's going to be that crowd and some group of people that do like these things. They're going to want some creative sticker crafts. These are somewhat pretty basic. Some people could come up with them, but I'm going to share these in today's video. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe. And here's a quick word from our video sponsor, Skins Monkey.
Now, today's video sponsor is of course Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly, trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade.
But since these stickers have come out, no one's really talked about them, right? Everyone's just been focused on the Major itself, which I understand, but you know, the stickers are also kind of interesting. Looking at the stickers themselves, they're very unique. We haven't seen something like this in the past. They kind of have a Katowice 2019 sort of feel where it's kind of somewhat circular, but also a DreamHack rectangular 2014 holo type of feel, especially for the holos for the RIO Major. The background on both of these stickers look very similar, especially in different shades of lighting. They turn somewhat of the same colors, which is actually pretty unique and pretty cool. Number 1 is the AK Asimov factory new or minimal wear, preferably a lower float so it looks pretty nice, but these are going to be slapped with the Fnatic holos. Most of these crafts are going to be using the holos just because it's a little easier. Glitters, you know, they look okay, but the holos, I think, where I think these things stand out the most. I think these with these Specialist Gloves foundations look absolutely very unique. They look very cool. It actually looks pretty good, honestly. Like, I would personally craft this, probably not use it very much, probably would sell it later on. It's not the worst thing in the world, especially if these things are going the way I think they are, where they're going to be very cheap. This might be a really good alternative for sticker crafts for a lot of people. Number 2, this one is more of a budget alternative to Stockholm 2021, that being the Mouse Holo. With these being so expensive, I think the 2022 RIO version actually looks pretty good, and it takes what 2021 had, but adds something a little unique, adds something that's a little different to it. This, I'm picking a Bloodsport specifically for the AK-47. I think these look pretty good on here, though the red doesn't really match up completely, especially while you're inspecting it in game, but while you're holding it, it looks very nice. Number 3 is actually a skin I think is severely underrated inside of CS. One of my favorites. I personally have a Copenhagen Flames craft on this from 2021, but this is a Nitro for the M4A1S. M4A1S is pretty popular right now because everyone's using it, seems to be, and their mother's dog, especially in the pro scene, but this has also the Fnatic holos, and I think these for me are my fan favorite stickers out of this entire event. Not my favorite team, but they're some of my best looking stickers in my personal opinion out of this specific major. I think they go very, very well, and the background with the actual logo just looks super clean. Rather than Mouse, it doesn't really do a good job, for an example, on that of blending in. Rather, this does a very good job of that. I think this is a pretty good budget craft, especially for this skin only being a couple dollars. Number 4 is, like we talked about earlier, a base palette version of a weapon, that being the slate on the AK-47. This has 4 times phase holos from RIO, of course. It looks okay. It doesn't look horrible. It doesn't look great. Sure, this thing might look decent on a whiteout as well, but I think this on the slate looks pretty nice. The reason I'm choosing the slate, and I think a lot of the base palette weapons inside of CS go great with the RIO Major stickers, is because they're hard to craft with, and they kind of just remind me of just a blob of something, right? A blob of paint you're putting on a weapon, very similar to something maybe like the Liquid Fire Holo. But I think this looks pretty solid. It looks pretty clean. And for people who are wanting a budget FaZe Clan craft, this could be the way to go for you. Number 5, I think, is of course probably a pretty predictable one. Not everyone's favorite, but we're going to have a USPS in here. Not also a fan favorite team. I personally thought they were going to go through the Legends stage, but this is none other than OG. They have failed to qualify for the Legends and, of course, went home very early. They went to DE Airport instead of the Legends stage of the Major. But this on the USPS blueprint, also a pretty underrated skin. I tried Cloud9 stickers on here. Doesn't go as well as I think most people would assume. It's a different shade of blue. And with the white background on these stickers, I don't think it looks great, but if you scrape them, I think it could look even better, especially on this. Number 6, besides the Fnatic crafts, this also might be my favorite. It's probably going to be a very close tie between the two. This actually might take it on the very top. I'm not sure. But this is the Galil Eco, okay, with the Imperial Esports Rio stickers. I think this looks absolutely amazing. Some of my favorites. It's pretty nice. Number 7 is something I haven't seen yet in the community. That is the USPS Whiteout Factory New or very low float minimal wear version. This having 4 times Holo's Evil Geniuses from 2022. This, surprisingly, not the best team, you know, org, whatever you want, but these stickers look absolutely beautiful in my personal opinion in game. And this is when I had the wow effect right here at this specific angle and shot, where I was like, wow, these actually look pretty similar to DreamHack 2014 holos. Now they're not going to be 1 for 1. I don't think they're going to go up the same price anytime soon, but I think the holo effects are very similar. But I don't think other people are going to assume that as well. Number 8 is also a Fnatic craft, this being on the Op Asimov with 4 times Fnatic holos. I'm not a huge fan of 4 times sticker crafts on Ops just because it kind of looks like it's mishmashed. You're just kind of slapping a whole bunch of things on it. But I think this actually looks pretty clean. If you have the right gloves, like for example here, Nox or the Omegas or the Foundations where it actually matches this, I think it could look really, really cool. And it's a pretty budget tier sticker craft. Even though the skin's like $100, the stickers are probably going to be pretty cheap in the next few weeks. Number 9 is something unique as well. Obviously, it's nothing crazy, nothing out of the book. It's blue on blue, nothing too nuts. But this is a M4A1 blue phosphor, which is going to probably run you about $240 nowadays. This is with 4 times Cloud9s. They're probably pretty favored to win the major at this point, at least going to the grand final. And I think this actually looks pretty clean. The problem with Cloud9 sticker this year compared to Antwerp, for an example, is the shade of blue they used is horrendous in my personal opinion. It's extremely hard to craft with, let alone the background is insanely difficult. It reminds me of Krakow 2017 Cloud9s where they're just random colors. They don't really match with any other blue skin in the game. Number 10 is actually something maybe even better than the M4A1S blue phosphor, but a lot more expensive, this being the Icarus Fel. Some people don't even know this skin exists because of how old it is, but also expensive. It's a very higher tier skin. You're probably not going to want to slap Cloud9s in here, but when I was playing with skins, playing with weapons, and playing with sticker crafts, I thought this looked really clean, and in the right lighting, this was one of my favorites out of this entire list. It was matching up with the Imperial and of course Fnatic. Now that pretty much wraps up today's video for RIO Major sticker crafts. It was pretty difficult for me to do just because I don't like these stickers. I'm not sure why I don't. I think it's just because of the background. The holo effects are really unique. It's just very similar to a blob of paint. It's very hard to craft with. Imagine putting these in a scrapbook, for example, or on a wall. Horrible reference. Good night, guys.